how to get out of a rut, whether if that's for your self-improvement, your fitness, or your business. Because over the last month, I've been locked in on pretty much all of those. For my personal development, I've been reading, journaling, doing the hard work, especially when I don't feel like it, doing morning rituals to help me better build my discipline. In terms of the fitness, I've been hitting all my workouts, training boxing, tracking every single macro. And for my business, I was locked in on that too. I was posting content every day consistently. I was bettering my product every single day, adding more stuff to help better serve my clients, getting their feedback and knowing what I need to do better. And I was also looking into my content. I was seeing what content's performing, what content isn't, and just trying to see what does the audience want from me. I was literally locked in for the last month. And then I posted a YouTube video that I put my all into, trying to make sure that it was as valuable for you guys as possible. And I literally re-recorded that video 3 different times. I rewatched it 3 different times as well, just trying to make sure that it was as perfect as possible before I put it out to you guys. And once I uploaded it, instead of being proud, I basically self-destructed. I started questioning everything that I was doing because I had too much self-doubt about the video. So how this self-doubt actually spiraled into a rut was, life is basically a mirror. Whatever you put out into the universe is going to be reflected back to you. So when I uploaded this video, I sent it to all of my friends. I sent it to other coaches who I know. I asked my mentors about it relentlessly until I started getting answers. And me questioning this video that was supposed to be some of my best work, it made me start questioning everything else I was doing in my business. Basically seeking the validation from other people trying to tell me that, oh yeah, this shit's good, put me in a rut. I was overthinking, and that led to just second guessing my whole entire business, my fitness, my life. And I just stopped posting. I quit posting on Instagram. I started skipping workouts. I was not tracking my macros. And I even started doing a little bit of partying to escape this self-doubt, because I was like, I need to find my authentic self. So let me take some time away from social media. Started hanging out with some friends. And the key lesson is, I let my self-doubt just steal my momentum, and I fell into one of the deepest ruts I've ever had in months. And today I'm about to show you guys how I just broke out of that rut and some of the mistakes actually keep you in it. So let's get into it. So the number one mistake that keeps you in a rut is giving your confidence away to others. If you're seeking validation, that's basically you doubting yourself before others can even say anything. When I made that video, like I said, I did everything I could to make sure that it was perfect. And then after I uploaded it, I started asking everybody I fucking knew, basically, that would give me some real advice. Is this good? Is this bad? Could I have done this better? Like, just not having any confidence in what was supposed to be my hardest and some of my best work. The more you ask for feedback, which asking for feedback isn't a bad thing, but the more that you do it, the more that you convince yourself that your work is shit. Life basically reflects everything that you put out. If you put out self-doubt about what is supposed to be your best work, you're going to start thinking that all of your work is shit. The mirror of life is basically reflecting that self-doubt back to you. So how this destroys momentum: when you're overthinking small things like what could I have done better on a YouTube video, it leads to you taking inaction. And inaction leads to more self-doubt, like less self-belief in your ability to get shit done. You break the cycle of taking back your power. You shouldn't let anybody basically have the power to make you have self-doubt in yourself. Only you could decide what is good and what is not. And the reason why you're in a rut right now is because you don't have any self-belief in yourself, and you keep doubting your ability to get shit done. That's why you're in a rut. So some of the solutions that people try to get out of this is, they scroll Instagram for inspiration. That's what I basically did. I was like, I'm gonna scroll Instagram. Maybe there will be a video there that I could recreate that'll give me some direction in my business, because I feel like I'm not doing things right. That was inauthentic. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna just take a break from social media, hang out with some friends, hang out with some loved ones. It was a holiday, St. Patrick's Day, a couple of days ago. I basically just partied on that day, and that just put me deeper in a rut, fucking drinking alcohol like a dickhead. It may feel good in the moment, but it's just going to put you in a deeper rut. Like, literally, even multiple times during that night, I was thinking like, this isn't me. this isn't who I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be doing other shit right now. Having those negative thoughts, remember the mirror of life. When you're casting out negativity into the world, boom, reflected right back into you. Now you have less self-belief. And the other thing that I tried to do was wait around for motivation. I was like, maybe the motivation will come to me, but motivation doesn't come to you. You have to create your own motivation. Basically, motivation doesn't come from sitting on your ass and not doing shit, being inactive. It comes from you making progress, you getting off your ass and taking some action and making some progress towards your goals. What I just listed, social media, hanging out with friends or partying, sitting around waiting for your life to change, those are all distractions and big mistakes that people make when they are stuck in a rut. So how I actually broke free from the rut step by step was, step one, I cut out all the noise. I cut out Instagram, no social media. The only thing I was allowed to do basically was read books on this Kindle, use this computer for my client check-ins or hopping on a meeting with my mentor, the shit that I actually needed to get done. I just basically sat in silence and stared at a wall until I allowed my thoughts to come up with the answer that I needed. You need to allow yourself some space to think. Trying to fill your brain with useless info from Instagram or trying to distract yourself from partying, by partying, isn't going to get you the answer that you're looking for. Scrolling school, trying to find the answer to your life problems on the internet, that is not going to get you the answer you're looking for. The only way that you'll get the answer is spending a full day in silence and really thinking to yourself. Just thinking to yourself. You need to sit in silence, journal, read, take in some actual useful information, or just think about your life, reflect on your past actions, think about what is the version of you that has actually accomplished his goals doing, and how would he get there from this rut. So step number 2, you need to accept that you are not at your peak right now. If you've fallen into a rut, it means you've kind of declined from where you were at peak level. The reason why you feel stuck is because you're trying to match your best self. The reason why I felt stuck was because I was like, okay, I was writing down my goals for the day, trying to match the goals that I had 2 weeks ago, but it's like I literally could be bothered less to do shit. The reason why I felt stuck was because I was trying to post 2 reels a day like I was in the past. I was trying to make high quality YouTube videos. I was trying to make all these high quality guides like I was 2 weeks ago before I started casting all this self-doubt onto myself. And that's why I literally felt stuck. It's like I couldn't perform at the level I literally just was 2 weeks ago. So to break out of that, you need to do step number 3, which is set the bar ridiculously low. Instead of saying, I'm going to be productive for 5 fucking hours straight, I'm going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and work all the way to 12 in the afternoon, be straight up productive, and then live the rest of my day in straight productivity as well, that shit's not going to work. What I did was I wrote down 3 fucking easy ass tasks that literally a child could have gotten done. Basically, task number 1, service my clients, which I do that every morning. That one wasn't hard. That's a daily non-negotiable for me. Number 2, hit a workout. It's something I enjoy anyways, Just go to the gym, get a quick pump, get these arms blown up on this bulk. And then task number 3. So I'm going to read you 2 different days. One day when I was really stuck in this rut, and then the day that I broke free from it. So the day I was stuck in this rut, I said, sit down for 2 hours, no phone, work on dashboard. If I'm feeling stuck right now, you think I'm really gonna feel motivated to sit down for 2 fucking hours and work on some shit? No, I literally could be bothered less, and I didn't do it that day. So the day that I actually broke free from this rut, I wrote it down right here. Sit for 5 minutes and work on dashboard. 5 fucking minutes. It's like, okay, I could set a timer for 5 minutes. I could literally do that and sit down here. And then you know what ended up happening? I worked on it for half an hour. Actually felt motivated. And after I finished that, this works because once you complete one teeny task, you start building momentum. You just naturally want to start doing more because action creates motivation, and motivation makes the hard work feel easier. Me sitting down for that 5 minutes right there literally led to me breaking free from my rut. That 5 minutes turned into 30. Now I'm making a YouTube video. I've already posted on Instagram today. It's like I regained the direction I needed to have just by simply lowering the bar and then meeting my goals and my standards. trying to be at my best, which I was at like literally 2 weeks ago, it made me feel overwhelmed. So doing one small task just got me moving again. So the fastest way to actually escape any rut is, instead of focusing on the big goal, the big shit that you know that you are capable of doing, focus on the small wins. Like if you're in a rut right now with your fitness, don't sit there and be all like, okay, I'm gonna hit a whole workout tomorrow. I'm gonna hit a double workout because I skipped all last week. No. Say I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna hit one set of bench press, and if I feel like leaving, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna track one meal today. If I don't feel like tracking the rest of my day, fuck it. Focus on those small wins, because it's like, okay, if you hit one set and you skipped your whole last week, you did more sets this week than you did last week. And you'll probably want to hit 2 or 3 more before you do leave. And in terms of your diet, instead of focusing on tracking a whole day, just be like, I'm gonna track this one meal. If I forget about the rest of the day, who cares? All of last week, I didn't track anything. So by tracking this one meal today, I've actually tracked more food than I did all of last week. Boom, that's a small win right there. If you're in a rut with your business, instead of trying to do what I did, sit down, be like, okay, I'm gonna work on this shit for 2 hours, no phone, just like no distractions, when you literally can't get yourself off of Instagram. Okay, set it for 5 minutes. You could sit down for 5 minutes in silence, and it'll probably turn into 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, maybe doing more extra work on the side. If you're in a rut with your self-development, instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna sit down and fucking journal out 10 pages, I'm gonna read a whole book, I'm gonna read all of Think and Grow Rich and better my life. No, I'm gonna sit down and read 3 or 5 pages. Once I finish those 3 or 5 pages, all right, I've accomplished my goals. Go ahead and check it off your checkbox. Doing that and focusing on those small wins and stacking them up over time will put you in motion, and getting that motion will get you the motivation to continue to take bigger action. That's how you get out of a rut. You don't sit there and try to go 0 to 100 real quick. You're not Drake. Pause. But you need to do it 1% at a time. Okay, go from 1 to 20%. Okay, 20 to 40. All right, boom, now you're motivated. Shit, you just jumped all the way to 70. Now back to 100. Okay, now you're at 100. It didn't happen real quick. Not like Drake. It happened over time. You have to stack up those small wins. So the final words for you to get back on track today, just keep this in mind. Ruts happen to everybody, but the difference between successful people and those who stay stuck is how fast you pull yourself out. 3 things you could do today to pull yourself out is cut all the distractions, literally try to sit in a room in silence with only your thoughts. 2, grab a journal, write out 3 things that you're gonna do. And number 3, just move. Make it so small that you can literally get it done in 5 minutes. If you have a big ass test you're supposed to study for, instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna study all night and get it all in, you're not gonna do that shit. Just say, weeks before the test preferably, I'm gonna study for 5 minutes. That 5 minutes will probably turn into 15. And then the next day, it might turn into 30. Then the next day, it might turn into a full hour of studying uninterrupted. And then boom, it's like you studied more consistently than you would have if you tried to cram it all in one night, and you'll be less stressed when the test comes. What I'm trying to say is, you don't have to feel good to start taking action. But once you do start taking action, even if it's only 5 fucking minutes, bro, you will start feeling good. You will start feeling the motivation. So if you found that advice about breaking out of a rut helpful, go check out some of the other videos on my channel to go get more value from me, and go follow me on Instagram at Kane McGarry. Peace out, guys.